All right, Chuck's Chat, college football week 9. Week 9, the first edition of the college football playoff rankings will be out this Monday. Before we will talk about who our top 6 are if the season ended today. Before we get into that, just a slight recap from last week. Went 8-7. Won my lock, which is LSU. So now 5-3 on locks. Ben, how did your week go?
Not good. It was my worst of the year. I went 5-11, 0-1 on locks. I'm now 85, 76, and 3 overall, 2-5 and 1 on locks. So not great. Hopefully I can pick. I've lessened the games I'm picking this week, I believe. I have a good mix of underdogs over unders. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get back on track.
And Fair, how'd you do?
Went 4-6. I went
4-6.
Yeah, brings me to 42, 48 and 2, and 3-5 on the year.
All right. Yeah. Hopefully all of us can win the locks this week. Fair, your lock was the under in TCU Kansas State, right?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Ben's
that
was
did
Pitt.
not. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I said it, and then Ben's was Pitt.
What?
That's a factual statement. Nothing else to it.
What?
Yeah. I had one horrible beat. I had Toledo -7, and they were up 24-10 in the fourth, and their quarterback got injured, and they lost and they ended up losing by 7. So not even they just not cover the game. They gave 24 unanswered and lost outright by 7 points. What are you gonna do? But, all right. So college football playoff. If the season ended today, who are the top 4 teams? Who are the 2 outside looking in? Ferry, what do you got?
If it ended today, Ohio State would be the 1 seed in my eyes. I'd give Tennessee the 2. I guess now that I say this, Georgia would be 3, but Michigan 4. But they probably wouldn't have the SEC match at first round. Now that I think about it, but I think that's just how I just think Tennessee should be ranked higher. I just think as of right now they should be, despite the matchup of the 2-3. Leaving that aside, then outside looking in 5, I have Bama. 6, I have TCU. 7 would be Clemson, but they play in a cupcake conference, so I'm going to leave them there because TCU is undefeated in a better conference. So as of today, but that could easily change this weekend. I mean, I'm just stating a fact here. TCU plays a better conference.
I don't know about that, but regardless, whatever, I'm not going to sit here and debate with you or stupid conferences. My top 4 would be Tennessee 1, Clemson 2, because I respect the Dabo Swinney way. Ferry doesn't. Michigan 3, TCU 4, and then Georgia and
Ohio State
are 5 and 6.
You're a shock jock. You're just doing this for clicks. Yeah.
Those are all the undefeated teams.
Ohio State's not in your top 4.
They're my top 6. They're undefeated. The 6 fucking undefeated teams.
6
2 of them have to
undefeated
be at the bottom.
I have them at 1.
Ohio State 6. I'm sorry. Strength of schedule means anything to me.
I mean, Clemson's 2.
Clemson's beating some quality teams. Wake Forest, Syracuse, NC State.
Football powerhouses right there.
I mean, they're ranked.
Well known.
Ferry, we have the same. Wait, can you go through your top 4 again?
Yeah, Ohio State.
I was kind of just so shocked that I didn't hear Ohio State in the first 4 that I don't even remember who's in your first 4.
Yeah, Ohio State.
No, not
Tennessee.
you, Ben. Sorry. Ben, your top 4.
No,
Ferry, we have the same top 4, just in a slightly different order. Ben, what's your
mine? You want to hear mine again?
Yes.
So Tennessee's 1 because of strength of schedule. I expect teams that beat good teams like Bama. Clemson's 2, Michigan 3, TCU 4. They're going to be the conference winners, obviously. Georgia 5, and then I got to respect Ohio State because they're undefeated, but it's between USC, Alabama, and Ohio State vying for that 6th spot.
Okay. So
I don't know why you're laughing. That's me as a accredited journalist.
So Ohio State's argument is strength of schedule, but Michigan, who played Colorado State, Hawaii, and UConn.
They beat the piss out of Penn State.
Not straight.
Say Penn, sorry. You got to respect the kids.
Okay. All right, for me, because I have Michigan in my top 4, so I do agree with you that
Awesome. Cool.
their wins counted. The Penn State win was very
We
impressive. So
see
if
it the same way.
Tennessee 1, Ohio State 2, Georgia 3, Michigan 4, Clemson 5, and then Alabama 6. Right after, if I had to do a right after that ranking, Oregon would be next.
Did you just read the AP top 25 poll?
No, I did not. It was
TCU,
Tennessee
I think,
won.
is 7.
Oh, you're Tennessee won. Sorry, I thought they
Yeah.
had them later.
Is
Yeah,
Tennessee
then
is
swapped.
Tennessee is the best win. I would actually say Michigan is the second best win, but I think of those 4, they're behind Georgia and Ohio State. Oregon has a great shot because I think you can throw out the Georgia game. They're definitely a really good team.
I agree.
Bo Nick's got some Heisman. It looks like the Heisman watch. He got a few votes.
Oh, really?
That's what I was reading today.
Good for Bo Nix. Yeah, and then Clemson. Yeah, Clemson 5. They're whatever. They're gonna lose next week. All
They're
right,
not.
so
We're gonna lose
all right.
to Pitt.
Games in the ACC championship.
Yeah.
Okay. Game of the week. Games of the week. First up, big noon kickoff. Ohio State going to Penn State. Ohio State is a 15.5 point favorite. The total is 61. Fair, you can start us here.
Yeah, I think it's a weird line. So I tend to like to take Big Ten under. So I think 62 is just a lot, especially for Big Ten games. So I like under 62. It just seems like a lot of points to me.
I think the Ohio State should be like 20.5 point favorites. I think this is low.
Your model has.
Yeah, the Ben Payank analytical model has Ohio State minus 20.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're about like 3 touchdowns better than Penn State. They're just a better team, top to bottom. They get better players. No offense to State Penn. So yeah, I'm gonna roll Ohio State minus 15.5. Might also look at the first half line. It's probably gonna be like 9.5 or something. I could see them winning, being up 2 touchdowns early. Penn State's really demoralized. So Buckeyes.
Fair. I'm with you here. I like the under. So Penn State it's a couple things. Penn State probably is the best secondary Ohio State has played so far this year. Also, Jackson Smith and Jigba is still not fully healthy. But what we saw from Penn State against Michigan is they will get pushed around. So I expect Ohio State to run a lot. Penn State against Michigan gave up 5.2 yards a rush before first contact. So they just kind of get pushed around. And if they run a lot, and the game plan for Ohio State is probably going to be, don't let Nick Singleton beat you, make Sean Clifford beat you, which I would imagine Penn State doesn't score as much. Lower scoring, a lot of clock running because both teams are going to want to run the ball under for me. And
especially at first I really was like, I feel like I like the under this game before even seeing the total. And I'm like, oh, never mind, I like the under now.
Also, James Franklin, like they play Ohio State tough. Like they get killed by Michigan, but they play Ohio State tough. They've never lost under James Franklin. They've never lost to Ohio State by this spread, by what the spread is. So, I think last year was a 1-score game too, or close to that. Obviously, they beat them as 19-point underdogs. But all right, TCU going to West Virginia. Ferry, obviously, we'll start with you here. West Virginia's a 7.5 point home underdog, and the total is 69.
Yes, obviously, I will never go against my squad, despite it. West Virginia Twitter is not good right now. I'll tell you that. It is not good. Everyone wants Neal. They're at the stake for Neal. When Steve Slane tweets out he can't even watch the games anymore, that's when it's bad. Pat McAfee had his comments about it. I don't know if you saw those as well.
I did not.
He's out as well. I mean, these guys, everyone's going against him. But he's got a $16 million buyout if they want to get rid of him this year, and that's just not in the budget for a program like ours. So we're in a tough spot. But anyways, about the game. Like I said, I'm going to take West Virginia, but I'm going to advise everyone before they make their picks, Our running back, Ryan Mathis Jr. is out for the game. Our left guard is out for the game, and another starting corner is out for the game. And as you know, our secondary is not good to begin with. So just take that with what take that as you will. But nonetheless, West Virginia at home, TCU, they're due for a letdown spot eventually here. So, go Nears.
All right, Ben, your little
By no
brother to the
means,
south.
my little brothers to the southwest. Yeah, I mean, by no means do I think West Virginia's going to win this game, but this is such a gross 7.5. I'm going to roll with the Mountaineers fair. I'm going to pat little brother on the back when they cover. They lose by 7.
Mhm.
Close game. I think TCU wins the better team, but I'll roll with the whole team, home team.
Yeah, I think there's just all the makings of a letdown for TCU as well. It's of all the games that they've just had, it's been like just getting up for everything they had. Oklahoma or SMU, the return of their coach going back to SMU. Oklahoma, which they obviously got up big for. Kansas had game day. Oklahoma State was huge, and then Kansas State last week. They're so due to just kind of lay an egg, and I don't think they're going to take West Virginia seriously enough. I think they could lose outright.
They should.
So yeah. I'll never say I hate West Virginia. I like them sometimes, like once in a blue moon.
Fair enough. I wish I could say the same. Sorry, that was mean.
No, it's fun. I mean, I made a lot of money betting on Pitt last year. I wish I could have gave you some of it, but
the Southeastern Conference, 2 teams coming off some bad losses. Ole Miss goes to Texas A&M. Spread is 2.5. Total is 55 in front of the 12th man. Ben.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I must have not read the sheet correctly when you sent us the games we're doing. I'm not betting this game. This game's disgusting. What is it? Where's it at? Texas A&M.
Yeah.
They're minus 2.5.
Plus 2.5.
I mean, I think you probably have to bet Texas A&M outright. I think they're going to win the game outright. It's not going to be on my card because this game is gross to me. Actually, I'm talking myself into it. I'm going to roll Texas plus 2. Texas A&M plus 2 at home.
Okay. Barry, what do you think?
I was right on the same page as Ben. This game is just disgusting. I really don't. I refuse to watch A&M. They're just so awful.
It's awful. So awful. I'm not gonna watch this game by any means.
I watch a pretty bad football team, so I know what bad football teams look like. This is a bad team in my eyes. At least the hype, with what they should be. I don't want to bet it. If I had to, I would take Ole Miss. But a 7:00 kickoff on it's on the SEC network. It's called that should tell you enough that no one actually wants to watch this. World Series is going to be on. Michigan State's on. What's the?
It's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Why are you watching this fucking game?
Yeah, no one's watching this.
Don't watch
Tennessee, Kentucky's on at the same time.
Tennessee,
yeah,
exactly.
No
one's watching this awful game. But if I had to pick Ole Miss minus 2, but I probably won't bet it.
I'm going to be taking A&M. This is Ole Miss kind of got exposed last week. I don't think the discussion this week has been a lot about Jimbo and how awful A&M is. They spotted South Carolina 17 points in the first 5 minutes by virtue of a kickoff return and the turnover inside their own 15-yard line. So outside of that, they kind of output the last whatever it was. It was 17-14 going into the fourth quarter. A&M has a really good defense. And I don't think Haynes King's going to play, but Connor Wegman is, who was a 5-star freshman. I don't think it's a downgrade going from Haynes King to him. So I think that they will stay within 2.5 and probably win the game inexplicably for some reason. A&M will get up. They have a really good defense, which you can kind of hang your hat on, and hopefully their offense can score. But where Kentucky had a lot of success was with Chris Rodriguez. And if Devin Achane gets going against Ole Miss, I think Devin Achane can get going in this game too. But I hate betting on Ole Miss. It's the worst. It's a horrible experience. Oklahoma State going to Kansas State. My lock's in this game, so I'm not going to talk about it. But Kansas State is a 1.5 point home favorite, and the total is 56.5. Ferry, start us off here.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know Kansas State has been a team I've always talked about all year. So I'm going to keep end with what Sanders after the year, right? For Oklahoma State, I think I'm going to roll with Kansas State, and that's in Manhattan, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
If it was a night game in Manhattan, I would almost make it my lock Kansas State -1.5, but I could also be swayed depending on what if Chuck has something else, but I do want to see what you have to say. But as of right now, Kansas State -1.5.
Ben, what do you think?
I am not betting this game.
Oh.
OK State. I want to like them because I like Mike Gundy and this like whole look. But I just don't watch enough of the games. They're not very exciting to me. And same thing with Kansas State. Honestly, I haven't really watched either of these teams unless I played TCU. So yeah, I'm not going to bet the game. I said that about the last one, but I ended up doing that and betting it. Shout out Texas A&M, but I'm not doing that this time. I'm staying away from this Big 12 game.
I think
wait,
Spencer
is
Sanders is playing, by the way.
Is Martinez not playing? Did he get hurt last game?
He and
They lost two guys, right?
He and the backup got
That's
injured.
right.
But
That's right.
I think Adrian Martinez is good to go.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so last game of the big games, Kentucky going to Tennessee. Ben, we can start with you. 12.5 points in favor of the Volunteers, and the total is 62.5.
Yeah, I'm rolling Rocky Top here at home. Big game again at home. Is Will Levis playing? I assume he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think Tennessee can score against anybody. I think Kentucky is not really the same way. They need to get stops to win games. So I mean, 2 possessions, Tennessee scores, and then Kentucky has a hard time getting back into the game. So just not really that explosive an offense. So I will Tennessee at home, the points just because of the environment, and just I can trust Tennessee to score.
Yeah, I like Tennessee as well. I don't know if I'm going to bet it, but Kentucky, Tennessee's good run defense, bad pass defense. Kentucky, bad pass offense, good run offense. So the styles just don't mix well to me. Tennessee should probably lay it on them unless Kentucky gets some stops, but I probably won't bet it, but that's where I would lean. Ferry, what do you think?
I was also leaning Tennessee despite it being a weird line. I mean, night game, Neyland, the blackout. I mean, there's a lot of hype. And isn't it a look ahead? Don't they play Georgia next week?
Ooh.
So
I
that
think you're
might
right.
be a little bit of an issue, but I still kind
they
of
do
like
play next
Tennessee.
week.
I mean, night game, Neyland. I mean, I don't know if you saw the hype videos of all the blackout, but yeah, I mean, I still like Tennessee despite that.
Whose line is it anyway? Georgia against Tennessee. I have the look ahead in front of me.
And it's at Georgia.
It's at Georgia, between the hedges.
Does it have a kickoff time?
It's a 3:30 game.
What's the question?
Yeah,
Whose line is it anyway? Georgia against Tennessee
Who's
next
what
week.
You want me to guess the line?
Yeah.
Georgia 3.5.
Georgia 7.
Georgia minus 12.5.
12.5.
I was gonna guess that.
So Tennessee.
I swear I was gonna guess that, and
so they think.
Then I changed it to 7.
So they think
No
Tennessee
idea.
is like Kentucky is to Tennessee. So they think Tennessee to Georgia is what Kentucky is to Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's insane, man.
Appears so.
Wow, that's disrespectful. That really is. I mean,
let me double check.
Rocky Top no more.
What do they know?
11.5, but same thing.
That screams that we all have to take Georgia.
You have
what,
to take
what do
Georgia.
they know?
Right.
What do
Yeah,
they
you
know?
have to
Because
take Georgia.
one of their mothers going to be on Tennessee.
That's correct. that is correct. That would really throw a wrench in things if Georgia beats them down.
Mm-hmm.
The Alabama might not really matter.
Yeah.
Because they're out of the SEC
Mhm.
championship.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they are. Fuck.
Yeah. They would need Georgia to lose to Florida this week, which they're not going to do. Kentucky, have they played Kentucky? I don't think they have.
No.
Either way, they won't lose to Kentucky.
Yeah.
They already survived their scare against Missouri.
Yep. That was the one shot.
All right, cards. I had the best record last week, so I'll go first. Tomorrow night, 2 games tomorrow night I really like. Southern Miss money line against UL Lafayette, and Washington State plus 7.5 at home against Utah. Utah just doesn't stop anyone, so I don't know how they're going to cover this number on the road. Washington State should be able to do whatever they want. Notre Dame plus 3 at Syracuse. Clemson had 4 turnovers last week, and they fumbled at the goal line and still beat Syracuse. So they had a lot of turnover luck. Syracuse 110th in EPA per rush against defensively. Notre Dame, the only thing they can do is run. So they'll probably do enough to stay inside the number and probably win the game. Notre Dame's won 25 straight regular season games against the ACC. So they kind of just dummy the conference. So they'll probably win this game, setting up a huge showdown between them and Clemson next week. Tulsa plus 2.5 against SMU. I'm kind of betting this. I don't know. Tanner Mordecai might not play, so I kind of like this number here. A&M plus 2.5 at home. Central Florida money line minus 110 against Cincinnati this week. Cincinnati's due for one. Missouri plus 4 at South Carolina. This line seems really short and probably a letdown for South Carolina. That felt like a huge win at night last week. Probably take Missouri too lightly. Eastern Michigan plus 7 at home against Toledo. Like I said previously, Toledo's quarterback got injured at the end of the game. So like it at a touchdown for Eastern Michigan, who's a pretty good team, above 500. So I think they'll keep it close. San Diego State plus 8.5 at Fresno. This seems like Fresno's getting too much respect for me. They've just been okay. San Diego State, I think, can hang around and win this game. Louisville plus 4 at home against Wake Forest. Under 61, Penn State, Ohio State, and UMass plus 2.5 against New Mexico State in the Sickos game of the week. That will be a bad one. I have no shot I watch it, but I will bet UMass plus 2.5, and then I just have my lock. So whichever you wants to go next.
I'll go next since I did really bad last week. So Ohio State minus 15.5 for State Penn. Fairies Mountaineers plus 7.5 versus TCU. Chuck's Irish plus 2.5 at Syracuse. Might win outright. Iowa State versus Oklahoma. I'm rolling Oklahoma minus 1. They look better with what's his name as QB. I'll keep rolling with them. Georgia Tech plus 24 at Florida State. Tough to stop the triple option. Not Georgia Tech. Wake Forest minus 3.5 at Louisville. I just think Wake Forest can ball, and Louisville's not that good. We played them last week. We dominated them and lost by.
So would that make pick not very good
No.
either?
Yeah, we aren't very good.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure that was clear.
If you look at the box score, Pitt dominated Louisville and somehow.
But that would also make West
somehow
Virginia not
lost
very
by-
good too.
That
so.
would, yeah. If we just keep going
Well,
down.
yeah,
this
West
this
Virginia's
chain.
not good either. Are you delusional over
TCU
there?
won't
You
be
think
very good,
You're
and-
good.
Therefore, Tennessee's not very good.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're 11-point dogs against Georgia. Where was I at?
Wake Forest.
Nebraska plus 7.5 at home against the Fighting Illinois. Ranked
Okay.
Fighting Illinois. Like the number. Maybe they've all come out on a win. Who knows? Cornhuskers. Navy minus 13.5 versus Temple.
This is a recurring theme. You just bet against Temple every week.
I thought about doing that.
I can
too.
always
This
count on
is-
you to bet against Temple.
This
on
is for
show.
the troops. There's nothing to do with
Yeah.
This is
Temple.
for the troops.
Um,
They were horrible last week. I
I'm
bet
with
on
Chuck.
that.
I'm with Chuck. Mizzou plus 4.5. I don't know why. Plus 4.6, 4.5 against South Carolina. Tennessee minus 12.5 versus Kentucky. USC minus 15.5 at Arizona. Arizona stinks, and USC can put up points. Why not just roll with the number?
Did you see the
Michigan
total?
minus.
Did you see the total for that game?
What is it, like 82?
It's like 77. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, why not? They can definitely cover that number with that total.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Michigan minus 24 versus Michigan State. This is just Big Brother needs to beat down Michigan State. Little brother Michigan State. Michigan State's not really that good this year. So I think Michigan, big environment for little brother, hometown rivalry. I think they're going to get up for this game. Pitt +3 at UNC. Call me a homer, whatever. Also, I haven't looked up. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna take that over. Probably like 68 or something. And I think both these teams are gonna score a lot. San Jose State -24 versus Nevada, and Texas A&M +2.5 versus Ole Miss.
All right. Fuck yeah. Came into
Fuck
the
yeah.
day not knowing if he was going to bet on A&M. Now gig him.
Hashtag
Get 'em.
gig 'em.
Hashtag
Gig
gig him.
Get them or gig them?
Gig him. Gig.
Get them?
Gig.
Gig.
Gig. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The gig is up.
Yeah. The gig.
Gig 'em.
All right.
Gigs up.
All
Ole Miss. About to get gigged them.
right.
Hashtag
Fair.
gig 'em. So like I said, I got under 62 in the Penn State, Ohio State. West Virginia, obviously, that just means what I usually do, but for the show purposes, +7.5. I have Ole Miss -2 because hashtag not gig 'em.
Toddy.
The gig is up. The
Tootie.
gig's been up, but Kansas State
gig's up.
-1.5. The Tennessee -12.5 against Kentucky, like I said. I'm going against you, Chuck. I got Utah -7. Again, I just have a chalky week. I don't know what it is about this game. I just feel like Utah. I don't know. Don't really have a real rhyme or reason. Just feeling chalky this week. Then there's my walk. But speaking of being chalky, like I said, I finally need to get a dog. So I'm gonna go against the Georgia Bulldogs and take Florida like a madman. Florida's had off last week. They had 2 weeks. This is the game.
AR-15.
They gotta get up for this
That's
game.
quarterback.
This is their rival. Technical look ahead for Georgia, like we talked about before. I guess it's never really a look ahead when they play Florida. It should never be, but reality is it might be. So I like Florida.
Florida's got the number 1 quarterback according to my eyeballs. Good bet.
That's another debate for another day, I think. He's a fun quarterback to watch. I don't know about how great he is, but Missouri +4, like you guys have. Missouri keeps games close, except for when they play better conferences, like when they play Kansas State this year. They got
Okay.
but they've kept a lot of their SEC games and other games have been very close. Besides Kansas State, they got smoked by an inferior opponent.
Stepping up in the class against the Big 12.
Can't help that. They are certainly glad that they left the more superior conference.
Yeah.
Illinois, Nebraska. I like Illinois 7.5. I just, I wasn't last year like a weird game. Everyone was roasting them because there's 2 shitty head coaches. But even though Balima's been better this year, but I just remember I feel like I saw memes galore last year. Balima versus Frost was just bad. But nonetheless, I can't bet for Nebraska ever again. It's just awful. So let me go with the Orange guys. I'm going to take UCF in the bounce house. They should be bouncing for that game, and the system-ish play. So give me UCF. This is a game that I was hoping to consult with. Why is Coastal Carolina getting 2.5 at Marshall? I mean, Marshall's bad. Coastal Carolina is like decent. It's McCall not playing. I can't figure out why. I feel like a sucker by taking them, but like I need another dog in my play, and I don't think Marshall's good. Again, another dig at Notre Dame.
Marshall beat Notre Dame and James Madison. They might be the best team in the country.
It's crazy, but like, aren't they like barely 500? Aren't they?
Yeah. Marshall championship.
Yeah.
Who says no?
I don't know, but I still don't think they should be favored against 6-1 Coastal. But I mean, Coastal's coming off a bad loss.
I think you should just put Marshall on your card now.
Like I'm talking myself into because of how.
Just put Marshall on your card.
I don't like it. But like I feel I guess I have to, But all right, that's fine. Marshall -2.5. I looked at it. I was like, is it the anniversary? No, that's not for another 2 weeks. It's like, what is the deal here? That's not. Apparently, it's November 14th, so that's not for another 2-3 weeks. And that's the home game against App State. So be on lookout for that game.
Need to mark that
down. It'll be 52 years.
Okay.
But just keep an eye out on that. Again, to be a wild man. We're proud members of the Seco committee. I'm going to take the over 76.5 in USC Zona.
Oh my!
It's going to be a hell of a game. And stick with Seco My last pick before my lock is Northwestern plus 11. Again, Iowa shouldn't be able to beat anyone by double digits. So, and then my lock.
Is
I'll
the
do my
Arizona
lock
game? Is the
first.
Arizona game at 10 p.m. Saturday?
It is 7
No.
p.m. Eastern on the Pac-12 network
Oh.
in Arizona.
We actually get. I think I told you we get the Pac-12 network here.
Yes, you
We
do.
won't
Yes, you
be
do.
here, obviously, but if it was at 10,
No.
it would have been funny if like after the
We get back and we
Phillies
watch
game,
that.
yeah.
that would be
All right,
great.
let's throw in USC. We're going over 77.
Points.
All right, Ben, what's your lock?
First, I just have a quick question. Chuck, does your
Yeah.
lock have anything to do with the team with this logo playing?
No,
Okay.
no, mine's Kansas State, Oklahoma State.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you said that. My lock is Iowa Northwestern under 30.5.
Fuck yeah.
Going back to basics. These teams
Yeah.
both stink at offense.
Gotta go back to the well. I get
I
it.
don't think this is one this is the same over under that Iowa Michigan was, which doesn't even make sense. So yeah, I'll go with the Iowa under. Classic.
Fair.
a good
I mean, can't go against it.
Yeah. Ferry, your lock.
Yeah, I probably should have just said it since but I'm gonna take Oklahoma -1. You can call me stupid for betting on Oklahoma at this point, but it's not a night game in Ames, so I don't think that home crowd's gonna be that crazy. If it's a night
Game's
game
on
in
my
Ames,
card, Ferry.
different story. It is. I know.
This might be a parlay I bet heavy if Chuck doesn't fuck it up.
All right.
I
It's
don't,
all
I
on
don't even
Chuck.
know what you picked for this game. Oklahoma State, Kansas State. I think you picked Oklahoma State. All right.
I didn't bet that game.
Yeah, I took Kansas State, but I could be swayed because who knows?
Yeah. I'm taking Kansas State.
All right, then we're on the same page.
It's a Kansas State line. They should have beat TCU. They're up
Mhm.
18 and ended up
Yeah.
losing because both their quarterbacks got injured. Adrian Martinez is going to play. They're going to play well. Manhattan, and they can ruin Oklahoma State's season. So really like them in this spot to win. And then I just have a money line. So keep it simple, stupid. Did it with LSU last week, doing it with Kansas State this week. So hopefully they win. But yeah.
I take the parlay.
Yeah, the parlay
It's a
does
good
sound pretty
parlay. We
good.
got 2 Big 12 games and
Mhm.
Iowa, Northwestern under. All right. Anything before we sign off?
Go
Pat.
Phils.
All right.
Go Phils too. Yeah, go Titans.
Yeah, go Fightins. Let's make some dough this week.
Mhm.